Hey, this is Politics with Laura. Okay. Gabbard did an excellent masterful interview, in my opinion. Now, she interviews George Santos. Now, George Santos was just recently elected as the House of Representatives in New York. And when he won the election, all of a sudden, all this controversy comes out after the elections. However, she gets to the bottom of it, and he tries to sidestep questions. He answers them in a way you'll see exactly what I'm talking about, but she holds his feet to the fire. Just listen.
About his own past. Now, he admits to some of these deceptions. For example, Santos acknowledges that he, quote, embellished his resume by saying that he graduated from Baruch College.
Lie.
He didn't. Santos has also admitted he never actually worked for Citigroup and Goldman Sachs, even though his website suggested that he did. Additionally, Santos once called himself a proud Jew. But in an interview with the New York Post, Santos now says, quote, I am Catholic. Because I learned my maternal family had a Jewish background, I said I was Jew-ish.
This I, I don't even know where to begin. He lied about going to college, and if I'm wrong, please correct me if I'm wrong. To be a part of the House of Representatives, the bare bone minimum is you must hold some type of degree, higher education, whether if it's associates, bachelor's, master's, PhD. But it has to be something more than just a high school diploma. If I'm wrong, please point that out. Next, he said that he went to a college and there he did not go. Then he said that he's a Jew. And then went on to say, I'm a Catholic, but I found that I had some descendants that were Jew-ish. They call themselves Jew-ish. I'm not even going to call him a fool. I'm not. I'm not. I'm going to not call him a fool. I'm just going to let him make himself look like a bigger fool than what he has portrayed himself to be.
There are other accusations, but now we have the opportunity to hear directly from George Santos himself. This is his very first TV interview since these accusations surfaced. George Santos joins us now. Congressman-elect Santos, thank you for joining us today. First question I really want to ask you, now that all this has been revealed, is what does the word integrity mean to you?
Well, Tulsi, thank you for having me. To answer your question, integrity is very important. And like I said to the New York Post,
There he goes, splaining, not explaining, but splaining. Didn't define integrity. Just right off the bat, I'm just going to divert it.
embellishing
What
my
does it
resume
mean,
was a
though?
mistake.
What does it mean? Because the meaning of
Well,
the word actually matters in practice.
Of course, it means to carry yourself in an honorable way. And I made a mistake. And I think humans are flawed, and we all make mistakes, Tulsi. I think we can all look at ourselves in the mirror.
Okay, he's human, he's flawed, he made a mistake. Coming straight out lying, that's not a mistake. That is a well thought out intention. When you lie, that was not a mistake. Not at all. But I'm sorry.
And admit that once in our life we made a mistake. I'm having to admit this in national television for the whole country to see, and I have the courage to do so because I believe that in order to move past this and move forward and be an effective member of Congress, I have to face my mistakes, and I'm facing them. The reality is that I remain committed to doing everything I set forward in my campaign. I'm not a fraud. I'm not a fake. I didn't materialize from thin air.
He's not a fraud, not a fake. When you lie, that is a fraud. That is a fake. But I'm sorry. I said I wasn't going to intervene. I'm sorry.
Worked damn hard to get where I got my entire life. Life wasn't easy. It didn't start off easy. As I've said it many, many times, I come from abject poverty. I made...
Stop. 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 You come from abject poverty. Well, that will give you even more of a reason to have integrity because you brought it from the mud. And this right here is really irritating me when you have people who lie to get from point A to point B and then say, I come from abject poverty. Well, then you have people that you left behind to show them this is how you make it out. And you do it with integrity, you do it with truth, and you are proud of where you come from because you have something to give. You're like everyone else. Just because you come from poverty and you get to where you are, then you lie to get there? No. Sir, you can take that trashy statement and throw it back in the garbage can where it belongs.
some mistakes, and I own up to them. And now I want to put this past me so I can deliver for the American people.
The thing is, Congressman-elect, integrity means, yes, carrying yourself with honor, but it means telling the truth, being a person of integrity. And if I were one of those in New York's 3rd District right now that the election is over, and I'm finding out all of these lies that you've told, not just one little lie or one little embellishment, these are blatant lies. My question is, do you have no shame? Do you have no shame in the people who are now, you're asking to trust you to go and be their voice for them, their families, and their kids in Washington?
Tulsi, I can say the same thing about the Democrats and the party. Look at Joe Biden. Joe Biden's been lying to the American people for 40 years. He's the president.
Deflection, deflection, deflection. It is about you. Joe Biden, he's going through his own personal HE double hockey stick. Yes, he is. But now to shift from where she's talking to you on to the Democrats, no. It is about you. Joe Biden didn't say, hey, go ahead and go lie. No, you did that on your own. And then now you want to deflect by saying, well, Joe Biden lied for 40 years. Then Joe Biden lied for 40 years. So then you're going to take what he did and then make it your own. And then when you get caught, now you're like, oh, Joe Biden did this. But you come from abject poverty and that's... No. No, sir. No. Not today. Not tomorrow. Thank you. I gotta get more Cafe Olay to deal with this level of bull crap. Alrighty.
The United States. Democrats resoundingly support him. Do they have no shame? Look, I've made this very clear.
This is not about the Democratic Party, though. This is about your relationship, frankly, with the people who've entrusted you to go and fight for them. And I think one of the questions that really probably hits home to a lot of people is are you Jewish? We've got a letter that your campaign sent out earlier this year, which reads as follows. As a proud American Jew, I've been to Israel numerous times for educational, business, and leisurely trips. You said there in that letter that you are, quote, a proud American Jew. How do you explain that?
My heritage is Jewish. I've always identified as Jewish. I was raised a practicing Catholic. I think I've gone through this. Even I've not not being raised a practicing Jew, I've always joked with friends and circles, even in the campaign, I'd say, guys, I'm Jew.
No, 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 no. You're still lying. There are people that are Jewish as a people and are Jewish as a religion. Now, if you were really Jewish, you would know that. Or if you were around people that are Jewish, would tell you. I'm not a practicing Jew. I'm an atheist, but I still identify as Jewish as a group of people. You, sir, are just. You can fill that in. Anyone can fill that in. And distasteful.
Remember, I was raised Catholic. So, look, I understand everybody wants to nitpick at me. I'm going to reassure this once and for all. I'm not a facade. I'm not a persona. I have an extensive career that I worked really hard to achieve. And I'm going to deliver from my experience because I remain committed in delivering results for the American people. I campaigned on inflation. I campaigned on crime. I campaigned on education. I campaigned on delivering resolve for the American people. That's what the people of the 3rd Congressional District heard me on and on.
Okay, he campaigned on crime. He campaigned on education, and he campaigned to his people. Well, he did commit a crime because he lied, and he's campaigning on education. He doesn't have any, so how can he? Just you see how wild that is. He built a campaign on complete lies, and who will trust him? Who?
As I campaigned. Now it's going to be incumbent upon me to deliver on those results. And I look forward to servicing my district. I look forward to serving my people in my district to make sure that they see that this is what
looking for.
I look forward to serving my people in my district to make sure that they see that this is what
looking for. The results that people are looking for are called into question when you tell blatant lies, not embellishments. And this is, I think, one of the biggest concerns, Congressman-elect, is that you don't really seem to be taking this seriously. You've apologized. You said you've made mistakes, but you've outright lied. A lie is not an embellishment on a resume. You said you worked at Goldman Sachs and Citigroup, but they've said, we've got no record of this guy working for us. You've said you've gone to and graduated from these universities, but they've said, well, we've got no record of that. These are blatant lies, and it calls into question how your constituents and the American people can believe anything that you may say when you are standing on the floor of the House of Representatives, supposedly fighting for them. That's the real issue here.
Mm-hmm. Well, look, I agree with what you're saying, and as I stated, and I continue, we can debate my resume and how I worked with firms such as Goldman and Citigroup.
Is it debatable, or is it just false?
No,
is
it's
it debatable, or is it just
debatable.
False?
How is your resume debatable? I mean, please help me out with that. He sat down and he wrote, I went to school, I went to this university, I worked at this job, comes up with descriptions for the job. And how is that debatable? You're still not taking responsibility. You're still lying. The facts are not, your resume is not debatable. I almost said the full word.
No, it's not false at all. It's debatable. I can sit down and explain to you what you can do in private equity, in capital intro, via servicing limited partners and general partners. And we.
Okay. I can't take this. This is so difficult. Okay, you're not going to sit down and explain what you do. If the job that you worked at, or even if you were a subcontractor or had a contract, they would have your name down there because they paid you a fee. Now, you're going to sit down and talk to people, well, this right here is some type of financial thing, and this is what you do with it. No. You fool. I said I wasn't going to say that.
Have this discussion that's going to go way above the American people's head, but that's not what I campaigned on. I campaigned on delivering results.
Wow. Now he's saying that the American people are stupid. This is awful.
for the American people by lowering inflation. I can sit down, and if you want to have that discussion, I'd be glad to, Tulsi, to explain that to you and make sure that we settle the score.
This is not about settling scores, and I think you just kind of highlighted, I think, my concern, the concern that people at home have. You're saying that this discussion will go way above the heads of the American people, basically insulting their intelligence. So not only are you now backtracking on these lies that you've told, but you're saying that you can't explain it in a way that your constituents would actually be able to understand.
I can explain it in a way
and that these lies are debatable.
If you give me the time, I can easily if you give me the time, I can easily explain it for you, as in when investors are looking.
No one needs you to explain anything except the lies you put on your resume. Now, you may know what you're speaking about or talking about when it comes to finance. You may have the experience, but you don't have the paperwork backing up your experience. That's it. Just foolishness.
For capital, and I'm sitting there doing due diligence on the appetite and what they're looking for, right? And we work alongside GPs and LPs to help them place this capital. This is what I was doing, and that's when I worked extensively with these firms and many other firms at my time as I was vice president of Linkbridge Investors. So this isn't a made-up narrative, but I feel like nobody really wants to sit down and talk about it. Everybody just wants to push me and call me a liar. Look, I embellished my resume.
Santos.
I did.
Congressman-elect Santos, we've given you a lot of time. I think the time that is owed is to the people of New York's 3rd. It's hard to imagine how they could possibly trust your explanations when you're not really even willing to admit the depth of your deception to them. Thank you so much for being here and joining us.
Thank you, Tulsi.
Now, New York in Congress in this past election.
This is beyond comprehension. I mean, this this guy lied about everything. Is he really a human being? Did he lie about that? I mean, this just goes pew. Now, yeah, politicians do embellish. Yes, they do. I mean, you have the biggest lie I heard was when, what is her name? Warren. Elizabeth Warren said that she was Indian. And got student money to go to college. She said, I'm an Indian. Or shall I say, is she a $5 Indian? Did somebody in her family take that $5, put me down on the registry? That did occur. There are a lot of people running around saying that they are Native Americans, but they are a $5 Indian. Then you have to stop and say, well, where is your nation's flag? If you are a part of a nation, then you would have a flag. And now you have some of these Indian nations coming out and say, well, okay, we belong with Elizabeth Warren on that one. But I digress. He lied. Bold-faced lied. And he is shameful for using his poverty as an excuse for him to lie to people. Everyone loves the underdog story. Everyone loves when someone comes from the bottom of the barrel and fights their way up and they got it on their own, having help on the way. But that's not what he did. He lied his way. What do you think? What do you think? Now this is what I believe. I very well could be wrong. I have been known to be wrong, but I have a funny feeling that the people of New York in the 3rd District are going to be are outraged, so outraged that they're going to ask for his resignation. I'm going to stay on this one. Now, what do you think? I want to thank you for stopping by, because you could be anywhere, but you decide to stay here with me and listen to my video, because politics runs the world. Now, whether if you agree with the politics or not, put something down in the comment section. Whether if you agree or disagree with me, that is okay. We can agree to disagree, or we can agree to agree. So please help me get to 500 subscribers, and then help me get to 1,000 subscribers. And thank you for stopping by.